afternoon, everybody. Apologies about a very late Friday Waffle. I was intending to do it last night, but I had a mate over and I didn't expect him to stay for quite so long, so by the time he left it was about 10 o'clock. Excuse me. And I just wasn't, I was too tired to do it basically. And then I was going to do it nice and early this morning, and I was at my park run. I haven't even got changed on. Just as well, you can't smell over video because believe you me, I'm a bit pongy. I'm just about to jump in the shower. Yeah, I was going to do the video nice and early, and my daughter phoned me to say that she was meant to be going into Edinburgh with her pals for their birthday, and she was basically locked in the house, and her pal's mum was outside waiting to pick her up. So my wife had to end up coming back from her work with the key, and it turns out my daughter had left the key in her mum's car, and then I had to take her up to the train station. It was looking like I was actually going to have to jump on the train with my daughter and then escort her to where she was going and then jump on the train and come back, but fortunately she agreed to get on the train herself, but aye, not happy about it. So anyway, it's going to be a very, very quick Friday Waffle. Hope you're all fine. I'm glad it's Saturday. The sun is shining. It's really, really nice. So yeah, I've had a mega busy week. I was on holiday for a couple of weeks there, as I mentioned, I think. And the problem with my job is, although the kind of day-to-day stuff is done, there's an awful lot of stuff that doesn't get done. So I came back to 260 odd emails. Maybe half of them were just like for information, but it's still about over 100 emails which I had to action. And the problem with my job, and like probably a lot of you guys as well, the problem with my job is you've got a client who is not remotely interested in the fact that you've been off work. It would be like you going to Asda and somebody saying you're wanting to get served, and the person's like, oh, I've been off for 2 weeks. You're not interested. They're not interested, so you've got to basically hit the ground running. So when I came back last Monday, it was just, straight in. So you're trying to deal with it. You're trying to deal with the current stuff, plus you're trying to kind of chip away at the backlog. So, I worked to 7 o'clock on Tuesday. I was at a full day training course on Tuesday, and then I was at this meeting all day Thursday. So even though I'd been off for 2 weeks, 2 of my 5 days were taken up not doing any work, being in training courses. You all know where I'm coming from. It's it's nothing unique. So anyway, I'm glad it's the weekend. Yeah, what have I been doing? Gaming wise, I've not played anything. I really need to get back to Resident Evil 2. Not had a chance to kind of get back to that for a wee while. I was really getting into it, and then I've just kind of stopped playing it, so I will need to start playing it again. I can't even remember what point I'm actually at. My mate Dave, Retro Gaming Memories, he came across on Thursday, I think it was, with the intention of, I told Dave that I had 15 boxes of gaming tat, which I do videos what's in the box, and I go through it. So Dave wanted to come over and just see if there was anything that he was maybe interested in sort of taking off my hands. There wasn't, because the thing is, I'm not selling any systems. It's purely games and just other bits and pieces. The thing is, I have got so much stuff, and it's stuff that probably 99% of people would not be interested in, but it's things like, I don't know, catalogues, instruction manuals for the Atari 400. These things are part of history, and me personally, I love all that kind of stuff because it's all part and parcel of this hobby. It doesn't have to be an actual system, it doesn't have to be a game to make it interesting for me. Just looking at instructions or looking at a warranty card for like a 30-year-old computer. I love all that kind of stuff. It's all got that real not horrible, it's got that real fusty smell about it, which I love. I think it's fantastic. And what I don't want to do, now I know I shouldn't really be concerned about this, when I eventually kick the bucket, and it will happen, absolutely will happen, you know, we never know when we're going to go, we've all got an expiry date. Hopefully mine isn't anytime soon. But I absolutely cast iron guarantee that if anything happened to me, my daughter would take over my house. All this year that you see would become hers. And she would probably end up taking the majority, if not everything, in these boxes and simply throwing it in a tip. Now, I would much rather that went to a museum or something. You know, if ever, and I absolutely stand by this, if there was ever like a vintage museum was to open up in Edinburgh or somewhere nearby to me, I would gladly give away a lot of stuff to that, because it's not stuff that I'm ever going to make any use of, but it's interesting nevertheless. And I would absolutely hate to think that stuff would be binned, because it's part of history. It is part of history. So anyway, if any of you guys are thinking about opening a museum anytime soon in Scotland or in Edinburgh, give me a shout, and I'm sure I'll be able to help you with some of your exhibits. So yeah, I met Dave. He picked up my guitar. I mean, I was learning to play the guitar a few years ago, and I'm annoyed at myself because I was going along to, it wasn't guitar lessons, I was going along to a guitar club where you basically learn chords. You learn like one chord a week, and then you simply play along with the music. And I was absolutely not proficient at all. But I got to a level where I was enjoying myself. But then my ex, she started a new job, and it meant I couldn't go to the club. And then I just stopped playing the guitar completely. So Dave came along on Thursday, and he picked up my electric guitar, and I hate him already. I'm only kidding, mate. He is such a good guitar player. He just picked up this thing and started playing, playing a bit of Guns N' Roses and Status Quo, and it just makes me insanely jealous that people can do that. And I want to get back to that. I really want to get back to it. So, seeing Dave playing my guitars, I mean, I've got an acoustic and I've got an electric. I've got to say, the electric one's more fun. He was making noises that I didn't even think were possible with this guitar. So, I'm absolutely going to start getting back to it again. I might even, if I get to semi-proficient, I might start putting out videos on my other channel. So, yeah, that's been that. We played some games. What were we playing? I was letting Dave see... where's the game? Have I got it up here? There it's there, yeah. Probably my favourite and most impressive game on the PlayStation 2. Now, I'm not a really big PlayStation 2 fan. I did get it kind of late on in its lifespan. It's a fantastic machine, but my favourite game, bar none, is this bad boy, Gradius 5. It is absolutely exquisite. If you're into shoot 'em ups, particularly horizontal shoot 'em ups, this beast is just awesome. I mean, it's an absolutely sublime game. It really is. If I let you see a video of this and told you it was running on the PlayStation 4, you'd probably believe me, because I don't know what it is. It just looks like it's high definition. It's a staggeringly good game. If shoot 'em ups are your bag, go and pick up this. You can see there I paid 25 quid for it, which seems a lot of money, but believe you me, it's an absolute awesome game. So I let Dave see that, and he himself was very impressed with it. I also let Dave see my Dreamcast. I've got a Dreamcast with its replacement GD thing. Basically, you take out the optical drive and you put in this SD card device. So I've got about 250 games on this SD card, and it's in the Dreamcast. It's fantastic. So I let Dave see that. He was having a shot of that, plus my Dreamcast SD card, and he was super impressed, to the point that he then texted me yesterday to say that he'd gone ahead and ordered a Dreamcast and one of these GD devices. You're going to absolutely love it, Dave. I mean, the Dreamcast is a phenomenal machine. It's funny how, here's a weird thing. Generally, you would regard, when you sit up and stop slouching, generally you would regard the PlayStation as being the successful machine over the Sega Saturn, and you would probably regard the PlayStation 2 and Xbox as being more successful than the Dreamcast. And they were. It's from a commercial point of view, from a lifespan point of view, both the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 and Xbox were more successful than the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. But you know what? 20 years on, I play the Sega Saturn and Dreamcast way more than I play my PS2, Xbox and my PlayStation 1. I don't even have my PlayStation 1 switched on. It's, as much as I loved it back in the day, it's a machine that I never play. Never ever play. I think the problem for me is any sort of 3D type game with polygons, whatever, I just don't think it's aged well at all. And for that reason, I don't play it. I really don't play it. I know there are lots and lots of good PlayStation games, but I simply never ever play it. But I love playing the Sega Saturn, I love my Dreamcast. There are so many good games. I think because arcade games, pick 'em up and play games are my thing, rather than Tomb Raider or Metal Gear Solid. And the Dreamcast and the Sega Saturn do these games in abundance. They're fantastic, absolutely fantastic systems to own. If you like your arcade conversions, you've got your Crazy Taxis, you've got all these games. The shoot 'em ups are just fantastic. So that's kind of been it. I've not actually been playing anything. I've got to say, I did another video with my mate Lacosa on. Well, to let you understand, we had to record it over 2 days or 2 nights. Such is the length of this bad boy. It's going to be getting released tomorrow night, and the video is called 20 lesser known games that you really need to play. Basically, Chris and I went away and we picked 10 games each, which I wouldn't go so far as to say they're unknown, but they're games that don't really appear on the radar. I mean, there's games that everybody knows, everybody plays. Oh, you need to play that, you need to play this, you need to play that. These 20 games are games which, some of them you might not have heard of, especially if you're, the games that I picked are quite old games that appeared on like the C64 and Amiga in the very early days, so you may not be aware of these. But these are 20 games that are absolutely deserving of your time, and we endeavour to explain why. So we feature 20 games, and the video, and I shit you not, runs for over 4 hours. So you might want to take a half day's holiday to watch this. If anybody actually watches the full thing, I will be very surprised. If anybody watches it in one sitting, then I suggest you go and get a life. With all due respect. It's a fantastic... I love making videos with Chris. He's such a top guy. He's funny. I love his accent. I love the way he talks about games. But the thing is, Chris and I are tarred with the same brush. We're both the slightly more mature gamer. We both have the same history. C64, Atari ST, Commodore Amiga. We're both similar ages, so we both know about the old games. So the games that I can talk about, a lot of the ones that Chris has played as well. But it does not end there. So the video, it took about 2.5-3 hours to render. It's now uploaded, and I will be putting it out, when I say tomorrow night, depends when you're watching this video, it will be getting put out on Sunday night, because I think people are depressed about going back to work on a Sunday night. So what could be better than a 4-hour behemoth video with 2 old guys talking about games you must play. But what we decided to do is a kind of follow-up. We decided that the games that I talk about that Chris has never really played properly, and the games that he talks about that I've never played properly, we're going to go away and play them and then come back and decide whether we've changed our mind over it. A lot of the games that Chris mentions, I don't think there was any games, maybe one game I'd heard of but I'd never played. All the games that Chris mentions I have played, but not for any more than a couple of minutes, because I simply thought, not my bag, too complicated, don't know what I'm doing. But hearing somebody talk about why this game is worthy of your attention, it made me want to play it. So what we're going to do is, Chris is going to go away and play all the games he's never really heard of or played properly for 10 minutes. I'm going to do the same. We'll then lump them all together, and I'll probably stick out a video maybe next Sunday. Just to see, it's interesting to see, well, I didn't like that game. However, hearing Chris talking about, waxing lyrical about how this game is worthy of playing, see if I change my mind. So that will be a video coming out probably, I don't know when it's going to come out, because I know we're tying up again tomorrow night. We've got another of our top 10 worst games. I know you guys absolutely love these videos. These are the kind of videos I really enjoy watching. So yeah, that's kind of been that. Nothing else. Nothing else at all. Not been playing my main car, but I've just been busy doing other stuff. As you can probably appreciate, when we finish the 4-hour video, it doesn't end there. I then have to splice in gameplays, letting you see the game running. I've got to get all the titles, so it took me about 3 hours just to edit and pull together. And sod's law, you render the damn thing and then you'll find something that you forgot to do. So you've got that. I'm going to say, look, you've got that to look forward to. That will be coming out tomorrow night, depending on when you're watching this Friday Waffle. It will be coming out on Sunday night. Yeah, that's kind of been it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see. I know there are a few questions. Let me just going to say log in. Excuse me. So I am going to keep this video. I don't know how long. It's probably about 10 minutes in, because I've got stuff to do. My girlfriend's coming over shortly, so I want to get this video. I knew if I didn't get it done now, I wouldn't get it out at all. Right, where are we? Right, videos, Friday Waffle, 24th of August. Yeah, that'll be last week's one. There we go. 2 for 1. Haha! Christ, you're an ugly bugger. Right, anyway. You can see now, I don't know, well, you wouldn't have watched this. You might be thinking there is something different about Mamemeister, and yeah, I have lost my beard at the side. Now, that wasn't intentional. I was trimming it last week, and there was a wee bit there that was a wee bit long, and I had the electric razor and I was trimming it, and then when I looked up like that, there was a big bald patch. So what I had to do was completely shave it, just leave the goatee. I do look like Walter White, I know that. I just need to get the glasses and the hat, and I could probably do a cosplay as Walter White. But I'm growing it back again. I don't like just the goatee, I prefer the full beard, so it is going to grow back. It's growing back quite quick. I do have quite quick growing stubble. So yeah, right, where are we? Okay, right. Oh, wait a minute. 24th. No, I'm talking absolute nonsense, sorry. I'm thinking I've done that video. Right, sorry, I should be looking at, I've just come right out of my... Right, sorry, I'm now here, right, okay, let's get going. Just seeing it. Right, Scott Breon was saying what a lot of those real hardware guys, the snobs, not the nice ones, is that not everyone has the physical space for a bunch of computers in their homes. And a lot of people also don't want to look like damn hoarders, absolutely. Plus, collecting physical hardware can actually get really expensive, especially if you're collecting computers like the Apple II. Absolutely, Scott. You know, I was talking about emulation. Emulation is fantastic, you know, so don't listen to these purists. I do have a lot of, you know, I've got a lot of real hardware, which I do enjoy using, but I still do. It will get to a point where I'll probably get rid of it and just use emulation. Emulation is still an excellent thing. Andrew Clegg, real hardware through a CRT is awesome. I use that most of the time, but I still use emulators. There's room for both. Just bought a D10 Nano to build a Mister setup. Oh, right. A Mister is one of these devices where it can run. It doesn't emulate. It runs the operating system for different computers and things. My mate Neil's got one, and it's actually quite an impressive thing. It's emulation of a sort, but at a much lower level than emulation software. Yeah, completely changing the subject. Spiders. Last week, I've been in my house now a year, and I've never really had any problem with spiders, which is surprising because out that window it's all kind of open. There's like buildings, there's houses which are all empty. They're going to be getting pulled down. But I thought I was going to get plagued with spiders, and I've not seen any until last week. I have literally been absolutely infested with spiders, and I'm not talking about wee ones, I'm talking about these big ones where you put a glass over it and its legs are almost sticking out the glass. I must have had about probably 15 spiders in my house last week. I mean, and now I don't have a problem with spiders. I do not kill any insects at all. I don't kill wasps. Certainly don't kill bees. I mean, I will try and, if I see a bee on the ground, I'll pick it up and I'll give it sugared water to try and bring it back to life. I don't like killing any insects at all if I can help it. But I don't like, big spiders are welcome to come into the house, but just keep yourself hidden, guys. Don't go walking about my curtain or walking about my wall at night time. If I see you, you're going outside. And my mate that came over last night told me apparently it's a waste of time putting spiders out because they just return. They're very territorial apparently, so they'll just come back in. So if you throw it out, it'll come back in. Now please don't kill spiders, that is not nice at all. But I've had so many spiders in my house. And was it one night last week, I was going to my bed. Now I wear contact lenses, and I'd take my contact lenses out, I'd just wash my face, brush my teeth, and I was about to get into my bed, and I had sort of like a bedside lamp on. And you know, you think, what is that? What is that shadow on my headboard? Went closer, this massive spider on my headboard, literally above where my pillow was. So that bad boy went outside. But for a couple of days, I was waking up in the middle of the night and I was kind of looking about. And the thing is, for every spider that you see, there's probably 10 that you don't know. I've not got a problem with that. I don't have a problem with spiders being in my house. But don't make yourself known. If I see you, you're going out in your arse. Right, back to the questions. Right, down the rabbit hole, Kevin. Thank you, Squire. For the Friday Waffle, hi Alan, I may have asked you this before, but do you have any interest in those one-up arcade cabinets that are for sale these days? I've seen quite a few of them. There appears to be a few different companies making these. Now, they are visually, they look excellent. They really, really do. They look amazing. But what I was quite surprised at, is they're obviously not full size. They're mini versions of arcade games. And the thing is, how are they going to be? I know you can obviously play them. But is it going to be a platform when you can actually play them properly, or is it just going to be novelty value? I mean, I'll let you see, where are they? Taking it to the extreme, I have two of these little guys. Now I don't know if you can see them. I've got Galaxian and I've got Space Invaders. It's got all the side art. I mean, they're beautiful. They really are. They're lovely little things. Now, they actually play as well. I don't know what... I don't know... Can you see that? What I'll do is I'll just start it. Oh, there you go. There's Space Invaders. I mean, what is not to love about these? And they are really playable, but you know what? They're nothing more than novelty. You're never going to, you know, that's never going to become your thing. That's never going to replace a proper cabinet. But they are lovely. I mean, they really are. But anyway, getting back to the one-player ones, I think, is it the one, the one-up things, whatever they're called? I think they, I don't know what size they are, but is it 3/4 size or something? I can't remember. But there's also a company selling even smaller ones. Sorry, I'm just looking at my back side. Just looking at that. I've got a couple of cartridges I want to sell. It goes in there. Yeah, there's a company that are selling other ones, and they're even smaller. I mean, I think they're really no bigger than like my little arcade cabinet, my little whatever you call it, arcade thing, Mamecab thing. If they're too small, then they're not going to be properly playable, and they're not cheap. I'm not going to go spending 400 quid on something that's just going to become a novelty thing. And here's the thing, it's going to be emulation, it's not going to be real hardware. If they were actually putting the proper PCB boards into these things and you were getting the real deal, then I might be more interested. However, I did get I saw a pop-up on the internet, and there's a track and field one coming out. So I think I've paid a £20 deposit. I don't know when it's due to come out, but I saw that and I thought, I've got to have that. I have absolutely got to have it. If somebody does decide to bring out full-size cabinets, you know, with really good versions of games, then I might be interested. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we get on with this track and field one. If it's really good, then I might end up picking up more. You know how these things tend to kind of escalate. So yeah. Secondly, do you ever adjust the volume levels of games to make dialogue louder than music, or sound effects louder than dialogue? Nah, probably not, Kev. I'm not a big fan of games that have got talking in it. I mean, I know any modern game does have talking in it. Nah, I generally leave it just the way it is, the sort of default settings, I think. I mean, with Resident Evil 2, I'm playing through it. It's got talking. I mean, sometimes I always turn off the subtitles. That annoys me. But no, I don't think I do, Kevin. I would generally leave the volume levels just at their default. And finally, what advice would you give someone who is slightly interested in buying a new console, like for example the Nintendo Switch, but they confess they have a pile of unopened games for their previous consoles like the Wii U? The advice I would give somebody wouldn't be the advice that I would take myself. My advice I would give to somebody is, I wouldn't say don't buy the Switch, because the Switch, you know, we're going to take the example you've just given, the Switch, Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, I've got to say, is a fantastic little machine. I don't play it that often, but what I love about it is there's a lot of games, classic games. I mean, it's got a fantastic Outrun, it's got a fantastic version of Virtua Racer, it's arcade perfect, 60 frames a second. Yeah, so as far as the Switch goes, it's a fantastic little machine, and you know, the games on the Switch are different from those in the Wii U, so I would say if you can afford it, get yourself both. Why would you not want to have both? Because the games are different. However, you can see behind me, I have got one or two games which I've never played. If you're going to be clever, you would play your back catalogue of games before you went and spent more money. But I don't do that, so I'm not going to tell you should do that. The common sense part is enjoy the games that you've got, rather than going out and buying new hardware. But don't forget, the new hardware has lots of gaming experiences which you're not going to get on older systems. One thing that has come out, and I mean I've always been aware of this, one thing that is really obvious to me is when I was making that video with Lyrical about 20 games that 20 games that you've maybe never really played. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of fantastic games that you can play that don't cost any money. You can download them for free, so you could effectively enjoy your gaming hobby and never spend a penny. But if you want to play modern games, you're going to have to buy a console. The common sense thing to do is don't buy a new console, enjoy the old games. But I don't do that, so I'm not going to start preaching to somebody about that's a waste of money because anyway, Kev, thank you as always, young man, for your questions. Retro Russ, hi Alan, I gather it's been just over a year since you moved house, so good to see you're doing well after such big changes. The Derby 80s Retro Arcade weekend is on again from the 20th to the 23rd of September. I will be going along again as it's my hometown, and we'll give you a report on it afterwards. Cheers, mate. Yeah, look forward to seeing that, Russ. If you could even make a video, that would be absolutely spiffing. Ian Hunter, great waffle, Alan. From this camera angle, you remind me of Ming the Merciless. Fantastic. Colin Jones, this was a commute waffle. No need to worry too much about the background when we're here to hear what you have to say. If I only had 3 games to play ever, Elite would be top of my list. The others would be more fluid, but I could live with just Elite. Yeah, Elite is a fantastic one. Emulation rocks. It brings back the past at very little cost, both financially and space, and also, no, I was going to say time, that's rubbish. You can try out stuff you never had the chance to play back in the day and revisit the parts you missed. Okay, real hardware is better, but it's totally unfeasible compared to emulation. My brain is question light this week due to work and one of those sodding common cold things, but I think I'm going to have to make a list for future waffles and keep it topped up. Thanks very much, Colin. Just when you get a chance, hope you're feeling better too, buddy. Bangkok Ian, really looking forward to watching the panel you're hosting for Play Blackpool. Get used to signing autographs before you go. No, they're not coming to see me yet, Ian. They're coming to listen to other people. Problem with all the movie licensed games was that most were pretty much interchangeable. You're right, only a select few stood out, and Chronicles of Riddick is probably my fave. That's an amazing game there. That was a game that you can actually play on 720p, I think it was. There was an adapter that you could get for the Xbox, and I did get so far into it. It looks amazing even now. So thanks for your comments, Ian. Panther UK, I love emulation. Sod paying stupid prices for things. I also don't want 50 different things set up. The only time I don't use emulation is for C64 music recording. They just haven't got that spot on yet, although it's close. No emulation means no MAME. Try getting 100 arcade boards for pennies. Great waffle, Skipper. Thank you, Chris. Next time question thingy. Now this could be a big question or a really quick answer. But what do you think is the most important milestone in gaming in the home? Blimey, what do you think is the most important milestone in gaming in the home? I would have to, I could probably say the Atari 2600, but that wasn't really affordable for a lot of people. I certainly wanted one, but my mum and dad wouldn't buy me one because it was too expensive. I would say it would have to be, it would have to be the ZX Spectrum. The ZX Spectrum was, it was an affordable machine. It was the 16K one came out, and then obviously the 48K one came out. Sir Clive Sinclair really knew what he was doing. He wanted to get a computer that was affordable to most people, and he succeeded in doing that. The C64, BBC, Atari, Amstrad, they were all more expensive, but the ZX Spectrum was the first real mainstream machine to sit underneath TVs in the UK, and it was the computer that an awful lot of people that went on to become programmers. That was what they built up their apprenticeship on. They coded in their bedrooms, and it really kick-started the UK video game scene, which has just grown and grown and grown and grown. We don't have to go in. I've not got time to talk about how big the scene is now, but absolutely, Chris, I would say that the ZX Spectrum was the first mega popular home computer. I think the C64 is technically the most biggest selling computer in the world, but the Spectrum was primarily responsible for really getting computers into the homes, getting people programming, and a lot of these programmers have continued to program, and they've gone on to bigger and better things. So great question. I mean, that could really be a topic for a waffle all on its own. But fantastic question, Chris. But I would say the ZX Spectrum, mate, is probably the one that really kick-started things. Sturo, I prefer not to emulate. I have emulated and still do every now and then. As you mentioned, having everything to hand is too easy. It's too easy not to appreciate the game. When watching people with emulation, they tend to play a game for one go, maybe two, and then it's on to the next game. When I was heavily into emulation, it was quite a new thing. I did the same thing. I know what you mean. When you're playing a game in emulators, it loads up in 10 seconds or instantly. So the temptation is to play it for a few seconds and then just switch it off and go into something else. You don't do that with emulation. I have a core set of computers, consoles, and I won't be expanding beyond that. If I want to play something like an Amstrad game or a Jagger game, I'll emulate it. But I find when playing the actual game in real hardware, I appreciate the game a lot more and I actually have more fun. You're absolutely right. You do have more fun because you're seeing the actual machine. Excuse me. You're seeing the machine that's actually generating this game. Plus, you've got the proper control, and you're probably playing it on like a CRT as well. So, as much as I do love emulation, playing on the hardware is more fun, definitely. I think that arguments are similar to people who use e-readers and people who use books. Yeah, possibly. But anyway, Stu thank you for your comments. Batman, stupendous waffling as ever. Apologies for my lack of questions recently. It's been a crazy time of late, but I'm back with a question, piece of advice, requirement. I recently bought an Atari 400, which I am enjoying. I never owned an 8-bit Atari back in the day, but I did play in an old friend's 400 and always enjoyed it. So in a wave of nostalgia, I found one for a good price and went for it. I know you have one, so I thought I'd ask, what cartridges would you recommend for it? Also, did you ever get one working with the cassette deck, and if so, how do you find it? I'll be honest, I love my Atari 400, but I don't have, the only games I've got for it, I've got a few, up there, I've got a few, Atari cartridges, things like Donkey Kong, Centipede. I'll be perfectly honest with you, if you want to fully enjoy the back catalogue of Atari games, I would recommend you try and pick up an Atari. I wouldn't go for the Atari 800 because they go for too much money. Go for either an Atari 65XE, which is like, it was the most recent Atari. It's like an Atari 800 and it's got the 64K memory. Or try and get an Atari 800 XL, which goes for probably 50-60 quid. Or even better, if you can stretch it, go for an Atari 130 XE. The reason I'm saying that is the Atari XE has more memory. The 65XE and the Atari 800 XL both have 64K memory, which 99% of the games ran on. you are going to be restricted if you stick to the Atari 400. I've got two devices which I use for my Atari 800, and I might actually do another video. I did do one a long time ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it's there's a cartridge which plugs in to the Atari 800 XL or the 65XE or the 130XE, and it basically, you plug the cartridge in and you've got all these hundreds of games, instant loading, fantastic. I've also got this other thing called SD210 or something it's called. It's basically a floppy drive emulator, and it allows you to load floppy games into these machines. The Atari 400 is fantastic. It's got a fantastic sense of nostalgia, but when it comes to actually playing Atari games, I would suggest you try and pick up an Atari 800 XL. That will open the gates, and then you can get one of these cartridges, because that cartridge doesn't work with the Atari 400, unfortunately. But yeah, I love my Ataris, really, really do. Milfy Swillbuckle, 3 questions for you, Mamemeister. What game have you ever completed or got super far in that you're most proud of? I'm a rubbish when it comes to playing games, I really am. I've not completed a lot of games. Probably The Last of Us on the PS3, PS4. I love that game. I wouldn't say it's particularly difficult. The thing about these old games is you've got save points, so you can always go back and save it. What games have I completed in the 8-bit? I've completed Castle Wolfenstein, Beyond Castle Wolfenstein. I've completed Bruce Lee. I've completed Robin of the Wood, which was quite I don't know, I just wanted to complete it. I completed that. There's not many games I have completed, to be fair. Probably The Last of Us, I think. I mean, I've completed games like Doom and all that. All these modern games, you can save it, so, which I wouldn't say it's cheating. I've also completed I've also completed Resident Evil 4. Probably that game actually, because it's a tough game, and I did complete it without cheating at all. So yeah, Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube is the one I'm probably most proud of. For me, it's Impossible Mission. Sorry, I know how you feel about that game after watching your great collaboration video, 10 highly revered games which are actually rubbish. What game do you consider yourself to be one of the greatest players of? I'm not particularly good at any game. I can hold my own in Berserk. Probably Berserk or Track and Field arcade games. I'm pretty good at both these games. Certainly not world class, but probably better than most people. So yeah, Berserk and Track and Field, definitely. Sorry if I'm rushing this, guys. I'm just kind of conscious of time, and I think this video is actually going to... I've only got 5% left. P.S. I'm actually the greatest Sensi soccer player to ever waggle his joystick, and not only in this world but the entire galaxy. And if Vargon of Beetlejuice claims he beat me that one time during the Intergalactic Championships, I have to point out that it did go to penalties, and he was playing as Barcelona while I was playing as Sunderland. And lastly, what game has a bad reputation that you think is unjust, or a game that is actually bad but for some reason you still love playing it? You know what? I'm going to let the video that I'm putting out tomorrow night with Lyrical do the talking, because that's 20 games that people don't really think are that good, which are. So I'll let that do the talking. Again, for me, it's Friday the 13th on the C64. It's buggy as hell, its reputation is crap, and it has some god-awful music, but I love playing it. I think it's because it's unique, a feeling of being hunted by a killer who could be any one of the people around you. Also, the game itself is hilarious. The fact that you can try and kill more people than Jason, or whack a corpse with a weapon several times and get the dead body to come back to life, has got to be one of the strangest bugs in video games history. Ian Cullen, biggest advantage to emulation is that PAL NTSC 50-60 MHz isn't a thing. Absolutely. I remember the disappointment when I played Sonic the Hedgehog PAL version on real hardware for the first time after only playing it in an emulator. Yeah, it's mega slow. You oldie gamer Steve, I use emulators. Sure, I'd prefer the real hardware, but I simply cannot afford the crazy prices people are asking on eBay for classic computers. Absolutely, Steve. Mad Commodore, this is the best summer ever. I hate stupidly hot summers like last year. My thoughts on emulation and licensed 8-bit games quality are on my video today. Too much to put in a couple of sentences. I will need to watch it, Mad Commodore. I'm glad to see you're back to calling yourself Mad Commodore as opposed to Failed Channel, because you've got a really good channel. I'm also delighted to see you're actually doing voiceovers. And finally, Andy, Mr. Williamson, I finally managed to get emulation to the level I want. A FreeSync monitor with 1 ms refresh rate for accurate refresh and 0 delay, and great controllers, customised X-Arcade tank stick, dedicated 4-way stick from Mike Hansen, and Logitech G29 steering wheel and pedals. That first part, Andy, meant absolutely nothing to me. But yeah, no, emulation does rock, absolutely. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to get going before I have to start doing other stuff. I hope you tune in to the video tomorrow night. It's a 4-hour epic, so if you're at a loose end, please watch it. Yeah, looking forward to Blackpool. It's not far away. I'm going to be doing a few interviews. Looking forward to doing that. If you are going down to Blackpool, please come along and say hello. Looking forward to that. So finally, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Take it easy.